We are the doctors, soldiers, and teachers of the world. We are the mothers, brothers, and sisters of one another. We are the dreamers, the crazy ones, and the innovators who challenge the status quo. We are just one of the 400,000 babies born each day who beat the odds and grow old. From crawling to walking, from talking to playing, from sharing our first kiss to marrying the love of our lives. We are full of emotion and passion and take things in stride. We are born to create, to live, to dream, and to pursue. We are all born with the opportunity to make a difference in the world. The only question is, what will you do?
My name is Helmut.
Phyllis Wegman.
Emily.
Gertrude Messer.
Victoria Zellner.
Everett Charlie.
My name is Barbara Kaufman.
Sandy Armstrong.
Maggie Kiekler.
My name is Victoria Zellner. In Ozaukee County, Belgium, Wisconsin. Well, there was a population of 300 only.
Yeah.
And they all knew who I was. Because I delivered papers and, you know, you got to know everybody in a small town. And everybody was poor in 1935. There was not much that we can say that we had, but you know, we were all happy because nobody else was. They're all in the same boat.
My name is Barbara Kaufman. I was born September 22nd, 1940, born in West Dallas, Wisconsin. Very, very fun. There was a lot of fun things to do. Roller skating, playing games, some getting into trouble, things like all kids do. Playing at the playground. I remember that during summer vacation.
Sandy Armstrong. I grew up in Milwaukee. It was fun, and I learned a lot of things from the neighborhood that I was in, a couple different neighborhoods. Had some awesome playmates, teachers in school.
I was the oldest one, and I had, my middle sister was a year younger than I was, and she was born blind. Oh. And so she was gone to school from the time she was 4 years old. And then I had a younger sister, was 3 years younger than I was, so.
Yes, I had 3 brothers and 1 sister. I was the oldest. My mother and dad were lovable.
He was born in Germany. He was a father. He looked like me. He's a little bit shorter though. But he was a wonderful man, I tell you that. He taught me so much. That was a wonderful life, I must say that. Because I had to learn a lot by myself. So.
Well, my dad was kind of a health nut. And do you know where Winona is?
I do, yeah.
It's got the Mississippi River and a lake on the other side.
Yep.
Well, my dad, hills, we were always tobogganing, ice skating, swimming, my God, and we'd camp out on the sand islands around in the Mississippi. So, and then if you weren't doing anything else, you didn't sit around, you went for a walk with my mother and dad. And we grew up walking. I worked as a nurse aide when I was in high school. And I can remember my neighbor was the superintendent of nurses in the town I'm from. And I told her I thought I wanted to be a nurse. And she says, well, of course, she did hire me and my cousin. We both said the same thing to her. We both became nurses.
I ended up, when I was a senior in high school, my grandfather had been married a second time, and his wife had a niece who worked in an insurance company in downtown Milwaukee, and they were looking for help, and he came and picked me up one day and he said, we're going to go and you're going to apply for that job. And I did, and I was hired, and I stuck at it for 43 years.
With my heart and my soul, I always was a teacher. Why I got away from that was also about a boy who had mental problems. and I would have to report him. And then he would send it to Berlin somewhere, and then he's going to be pushed somewhere. I thought, I'm never going to do that. Never. What can I do? I joined the army. That's why I landed there. And I enjoyed it. I always wanted to see the world. I saw it, believe it or not.
Well, I had a good career in the Air Force. I didn't get very high in rank, but I did get a good education. And when I got up to corporal, I worked on a lot of planes going over to Europe. Just about every kind you can think of. I had about 100 hours in the air myself. Yes, I like flying. And see, that was just before they hit Japan with that B-29. Studied just about everything you could think of. So I really got a college education through that. And I never even went to high school.
I left home so I could go to school because my mother said, women don't work. I mean, don't go to school.
Yeah.
A man, you'll marry a man and take care of you. Wrong. I like people, and I got my education behind a chair. Because people they're lovely.
Yeah.
Really knew her all my life as far as that goes. Just went and asked her to go out with me, and she was happy to do that. She was a wonderful person, that's all I can say. I couldn't have had a better wife than I had there.
So that's the way it is. My husband came from Russia, was a very smart man, engineer and a pilot. He flew when the Americans shot him down over Czechoslovakia, well, stuff like that. We came from a long line.
When Bob came along, I knew that was the one I... So, and I had to laugh because I had a girlfriend, and she said, "You don't want to go with him." And I said, "Yes, I do." And she said, "No, you don't want to go with him," because she liked the one I was going with. But I kept on going with him and ended up marrying him.
I still remember when we were at a party, and I never saw her before, and she never saw me before. We were not in, you know how it is, you introduce people to other people. We just walked straight at each other, and she looked at me and I looked at her. And I still can see it. And I know I didn't say anything, and so I know she put her arms around me and I put arms around her. If I wouldn't have married my, Lori, I would not have married any other woman, no matter who she is or how she looks.
Be sure you marry the right person. That's the main thing.
Never go to sleep angry with your future wife. And don't carry a grudge. That's the most important thing I learned.
My husband and I were married 6 years, and then we adopted a little girl named Jenny. And a year later, I conceived and had a little boy, Jenny and Joe.
I don't know. We had the girl first, so, and then 3 years later, then we had the boy. So, and my daughter never went to college, and neither did my son. We told them they had to go to work or go to college, and both of them went to work rather than go to college.
I had 4 kids, three sons and a daughter.
Got her when she was 3 days old. It was a private adoption. And so she was like our own. And my first husband, he loved her so much. He'd walk around the neighborhood with her in a stroller. He was so proud of her. And now she's 53.
So, and I came here to America just with my son, and he screamed in New York, auto, 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 auto. He was crazy about cars, you know.
I think I'm a pretty happy person. I always found arguing doesn't settle anything. And I don't know, it always seems like you look for the happy side of things. You don't look for the bad side of things.
Happiness you got to get first. Then you get money. that comes after a while. I came from rags to riches myself.
Well, I was a pampered darling. I mean, I had a sweet childhood with a lot of people that you knew loved you and would do anything for you.
We're all happy because we're alive. If I'm dead, I cannot happy. Can only be happy when you're alive.
I would rather be poor and be happy than rich and be miserable.
Just be happy and do what you think is right, and don't do something because somebody else thinks you should do it. And if you can make yourself happy without hurting somebody, I think that's the best advice I could give anybody.
It's not easy. You got two individuals. One says this and one says that. You have to find some common ground, you know.
Love comes over time. You may like somebody when you first meet them, but you have to get to know them to love them. Be happy with what you have and not wish for what you can't have.
You listen, number one, to people. You don't talk about politics or religion.
Go to school, finish whatever you try to do. Don't give up even if it's hard. You need that school education.
I would say be patient and listen to people and don't jump to conclusions till you hear the whole story, and do whatever you can in your power to help them solve their problem.
Be honest with people. Because if you're honest with people, you don't ever have to take anything back.
Give you a different perspective, after all, when you're young. Act young. You don't know everything, even if you think you do.
I don't give anybody advice. You do whatever you want to do, and I do whatever I want to do. If I think it's right, and if I think it's wrong, I never do anything wrong. Everything I do is right.
The first important thing of all is that you have parents that love you. And then you can handle just about anything, because you grow up self-confident.
Follow your dream. Whatever your dream happens to be in life, whatever you want to do, ask the Lord if it's His will to help you fulfill that dream, and if not, to guide you down the right path in a different direction, whatever it may be.
I had quite a life. I was married twice. I wouldn't change nothing because it made me who I am today.
You don't have to pretend for anybody. And if they don't like you the way you are, goodbye. I don't like you either.
Right. And if somebody needs help, help them. Don't take everybody for granted.
Help anybody however you can, because someday you may be in the same boat and need their love and help.
That I love them, and that I'm hoping that they will have peace in their life.
Oh, I do. I love all three of them. And I'm proud of all three of them. They've all turned out to be decent people and likable and lovable and nice.
Just for them to be happy in anything they do.
Farm girl, and a hairdresser, and a dancer.
And a taekwondo artist.
The artist, right. The good that I've done in this world, to help people.
Total measure, what did she love most? Children. children. Oh, wonderful little baby born and everything.
As a person that accepted people for whatever they are.
Probably as a person who cared about others and helped them however she could.
As a hugger.
I think probably as being an honest person.
Well, like they say, old soldiers never die. They just fade away. That we all fading away. Sure, we all die one of these days, but when? Nobody knows when. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next day, maybe 5 years from now. Nobody lives forever.
Can I shake your hand?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome.
For your time at Brit.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much, Emily.
Thank you.
No, I'm glad that you talk with me.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.